What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and on the back door, y'all, we want tonight get on this topic. I know this might be a surprise, so I'll wait for a few of y'all to come slipping in. Come slipping in, and then we'll get it going, man. Because as y'all can see by the title, this is something that we need to address, and it may be something that you need to address. That's the crazy part about it. You may need to address this. A lot of times we put topics out and it's assumed that um, you're talking about somebody else. That's what I was trying to say. But sometimes it could be about yourself. See, I've written songs before. As y'all come in, hit the like button, hit that little thumbs up button that y'all see on there, man. If you're able, come on in. But what I was saying was that I've written songs before that were very I don't like to use the word judgmental. I guess people could view it as that, but very accusatory. That would be the word I would use. And if you're really not opening your mind up fully, you may make the assumption, oh, this dude is clearly just talking about somebody else that did this or that and that and that. And yeah, that could be true a lot of the time, but sometimes I'm including myself in the scolding because there are a lot of things that I therapeutically release through my music and the things that I talk about. Like, okay, and I'll even say, look, I'm just not just putting this on you, talking about me as well on certain things, not everything, not everything, not everything. But what I will say is that we have to make sure that when we see something, when we read something, when we listen to something, that we don't step outside, no, that we don't remain inside of ourselves just feeling like, oh, yeah, that's them, because one thing that we do as people, we can become oblivious to our own behavior at times, meaning that there's a lot of things you do that rub people the wrong way, a lot of things that I do that rub people the wrong way, and you don't perceive it. You don't think it's no big deal. You don't. Just say you work somewhere, right? And every morning when you come into the office, you walk into the office singing and humming. Every day you walk into the office, and you think it's all good, but it's nobody in the office likes when you do that. It gets on everybody's nerves. But you think it's cool, so you coming in with a new song every day, like it's like everybody's anticipating it, but they're not. But you didn't know that till somebody brought it to your attention. So as y'all refuse to hit the like button as y'all come in, we'll get right into the subject. Yeah, Dean, Comic-Con was really cool. The Comic Palooza, as it was called in Houston today. I got a video up on our experience today. Dollar Bill, he might be here. I know he tired too. But him and Miss Dollar Bill were in the building getting it in. But shout out to everybody who showed us love and support at the Comic Palooza, man. We got a lot of love today. We'll be back out there tomorrow if you're in Houston. But yeah. Tonight we're talking about control freaks. And that's the word, that's the popular term that people use, but I really don't like to use that term, but I know that's a term that the people are familiar with. But basically people who feel as though they have to try to dominate or micromanage every aspect of your life that And there are different layers to it. Let me get into that. That's a very dangerous situation for the person who's doing it to be in. I mean, to who's being controlled to be in naturally. But it's also a dangerous situation for the person that's doing the controlling. Because sometimes, people get in this mindset where they feel like, they have control over a person, and they may have intentionally set out to do just that. Like when you look at just take a cult leader. I'm going off the rails, but it's still within the framework of what we're talking about. If somebody is a cult leader, their whole existence is powered by mental control that they have over the people that's following them, right? If they ever lose that control, then the whole movement shuts down. So a person in that realm, their whole motive is to gain control of the minds of that person. Same thing with a pimp. Take somebody that's out here pimping. You out here pimping. And pimps, what a pimp loves to express the control that they have over the mind of a female that they are pimping, right? That is their bragging point. Even when you listen to pimp poetry, the pimps who like to just break it down in that smooth way that we seem to glorify, they always speak about gaining control over the mind, and then what they say, get the mind in, the body will follow. She'll do whatever that I wanted to do without me even having to tell her to do it every single day. Well, unfortunately, pimping extends beyond just that level that we thinking of a pimp, prostitute on the street corner somewhere, or even corporate pimping, as we've graduated into the realm of corporate pimping now. But it also, that same mentality is also reflective in government. It's reflective in government. The pimp whole relationship is reflective in government on having control over the minds of the people who you are governing. So if I have control over the media, and that's a different kind of control, a physical control, meaning that I am the one who has the power to dictate what is disseminated through the media outlets, then enough of that the repetition can shape how the person thinks, how the people think, right? Which will eventually, for a majority percentage of the people, it will sway them into and under the control of the people who are seeking to gain that control. So we believe what politicians say. We believe what some pastors and preachers and evangelists say. Some are good, some are not so much. The objective is control, because if I gain control over you, now I have unlimited resources. Anything that I need, anything that I don't even say need, anything that I want, I just want to have, just have. Anytime I want to be entertained, anytime I want to give a show of power, I can turn to that which I control, and I can put it on display. And one of the most dangerous things is when you are under somebody's control who doesn't have your best interests at heart. But also when you don't know that you are under somebody's control who doesn't have your best interests at heart. If I'm blind to the fact that I'm being controlled, but you looking out for me, that's like a mother and a child. The mother knows that, hey, I'm doing what's best for my child. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm making the child do what I say do, because at this point, this is for his or her own good. Okay, that's cool. But when somebody's controlling you and they leading you down the wrong types of paths and roads, and you, number one, think that they got you, because they'll tell you they got you. Let me handle that. Don't worry about that. I got you on that. But they really don't. They don't got you. They trying to get you, right? But also, so you willingly submit yourself to that because you think that person got you. But the other side of that, again, is not even having a clue or realizing that you're being controlled like that. You have no clue. And that is very, very dangerous, because you're just blindly being led to the slaughter, right? So all of the major entities in the world that the majority of the people subscribe to, unfortunately, have the people living under a level of control that's not best for us as the people. And what are these major entities? I just named two of them. Two of them are government and religion, but there are a few more, because nowadays you have social media, you have entertainment, meaning music and Hollywood. These things shape our minds and take control over our actions based on what is presented to be popular, what's presented to be trendy, the latest fads, what we should like. We're going to put this out, put this out, put this out, put this out, and make you believe that you like it. How's somebody going to make you believe that you like something you wasn't even sure that you liked? Repetition. Repetition. A while back, I did a live stream, and I don't remember what the subject was that we were on that night, but I remember I brought up the flea test. And shout out to my big brother, Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad, who brought this to my attention years ago. But the flea test, and what the flea test was or is, I don't know if they still do it. Maybe somebody may do it just to prove that it works. They took a flea that has the ability to jump, I think, like 100 times its own height. A flea can jump 100 times its own height. And they stuck him in the shoebox. They stuck a flea in an open shoebox, or cigar box, rather. But they put him in there and the box was open. So the flea, by nature, keep that word in mind, by nature, as y'all hit that like button, the flea is just springing up, jumping, because he has all the room in the world. He can max out. Keywords. His nature is to jump high and to max out, to jump as high as he can. After a while, after a few jumps, they close the box. So now there's a ceiling over the flea's head, but he's not realizing that there's been a ceiling placed over his head. So now he's still jumping. But every time he jumps now, he hits his head. Time he jumps, he hits his head, Oh, what was that? Do it again. Oh, what was that? He's hitting his head every time. They left him in the box long enough to where he got a lot of repetitions, a lot of jumps in. Then after a while, they reopened the box. And when they reopened the box, now instead of the flea realizing the box is open and jumping like he used to or he's capable of, now he's jumping just to that very height where the box was popping him on the top of his head, because now he's conditioned to understand, I don't want to keep hitting my head. This is only so far I can go. So now the flea feels this is the highest that I can go, even though I can look up and see nothing but open sky. So they exercise a level of control over the flea, enough, so much so to where now the flea's actions are on autopilot. That's us. We have the ability within our nature to go as high as we want to go. We can go as high as we want to go. Donald Elijah Muhammad teaches that the black man is God. A lot of people may say, what do you mean? We have the ability to exercise power that's on a level even beyond our own comprehension. Right? So when somebody takes control over you, you surrender that ability and give it to them. Amazing, ain't it? But it's true. So now they don't worry about you no more. We've lied to you through our remixes of religious doctrine. We've lied to you. You've accepted that, so we got you. We ain't got to worry about you. You're autopilot. We've made you to believe that the current construct of the political system is for the people, by the people, for the people. We made you believe that. We got you now. So now we trick you into voting for corrupt politicians, presidents every 4 years. We trick you into believing that that process is something that's going to be a benefit to you. We got y'all on that. We ain't worried about that. We sell y'all on the medical industry, the food industry, and tell you what's good for you and what's not, what's best for you to put into your body and what's not. We got you on that. So now we can scare the hell out of you and then say, hey, man, all you got to do is get you one of these. What is this? What am I doing, y'all? What am I doing? What am I doing when I do this here? All you got to do is get you one of these and you'll be fine. See? That's control. Because the world is run by control freaks. So what I said earlier, well, I don't really like to use that word control freaks. I wasn't talking about the control elites, because they are real freaks. They are control freaks. I was speaking more so of people, just regular people, who they may not mean to be that way. Some do, because don't get it twisted. They're very narcissistic and very manipulative people right around you in your circle every day. Some of them are your parents. Some of them are your brother, your sister. Some of them are your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. your son, your daughter, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your co-worker, your classmate. Some of these people are very narcissistic and manipulative people who seek to gain control over you for their own benefit. I got to be, I'm me. See? And on that level, people who are controlling on that level, overly controlling on that level, they have and like I said, a narcissism about themselves, but a lot of times it's also rooted in an insecurity that they may have as well. Because when you don't feel confident in yourself that you have the ability to exude character traits, personality traits, you don't have the ability to exude character traits that just will naturally make a person stick by you. Your insecurity makes you attempt to impose will and maybe possibly try to force that situation. That is a dangerous type of control. That's a dangerous type of control. Because especially if there was a time where that person actually had control. See, it's different when they're trying to establish that control over you because, you know, they just trying to get it. It may be a tug of war because you may have the self-esteem that's not going to allow anybody to do that to you. Like, hey, man, watch out. Hey, hold on now. You're getting too forceful. People do it all the time. You know, ladies, you meet a guy and you like him, and then 2 dates in, he's just making too many demands and being a little bit too controlling. And you don't want to be controlled at all like that. But you definitely are not going to allow yourself to be controlled early on in the game. I don't even know your middle name yet, fool. How you gonna tell me I need it? See? So they're trying to establish that control. You push back. You know what? Nah, hey, I don't think this is gonna work, sir. Or ma'am, if it's the shoes on the other foot. I don't know what they told you. That's not how I get down, ma'am. You know. But if they have already gained control, or you've been lulled into being under their control. You thought they was cool, so you kind of, yeah, I trust you. Like I said earlier, yeah, you know, I'm gonna let him lead. I'm gonna let him lead. He's the man. He's intelligent. He seems to know. I'm gonna let him lead. And then when they get you, they start turning up the heat, and they ramp it up, ramp it up, ramp it up. And now the heat is a little bit more extreme than you want to deal with. You're like, oh no, he's getting. Well, no, you can't. I don't want you. I know you go over your family's house every weekend to hang out with your mom and your sisters and brothers. I don't want you doing that no more. I want you to stay here with me. You're like, wait a minute, no, this is my family. I'm your family. I'm the captain now. And some people are weak enough, they let people take that. And it's like, man, now the family's concerned, man, I ain't seen, man, I ain't talked to my sister in 3 months, man. This dude just gotta, see? And fear, part of it is fear, so you let them do it. Part of it is, I just wanted to keep things cool. That's dangerous. So, but when you, as a male or female, when you snap out of that control and you finally decide to take control back of your own life, what happens next is the person does not want to relinquish that control. They don't want to give it up. Because their own insecurities have them in a mindset like, I'm gonna lose, they're gonna lose everything. So now I start to go to extreme levels. Miss Lady Sample said weirdo behavior. Yeah. I start to go to extreme levels to keep you under my control. So it starts mental first. Now I'm trying to keep my game, keep running game, keep my conversation, keep the manipulation on this level going, hoping that I can reprogram you. But if that doesn't work, in some cases, now it gets physical. Now it gets dangerous. Now it gets domestic, violent. And that's because the person loses it. When they lose control of you, they then lose control of themselves. Hey man, I'm giving y'all some action tonight. I'm giving y'all some action tonight. So it's dangerous on both ends, and you have to make sure that you don't move super fast with people that you're just getting to know. It doesn't matter how good they talk in the beginning. It doesn't matter how impressive they were, how well they impressed you with things that they might have. It doesn't matter with how much they have given you. Well, he helped me at a time when things were really bad for me, and it doesn't matter. There's a line to every situation. There's a limit to every situation. And if you let people cross that line based on simply what they have done for you and what they gave to you and what they showed you and taught you, then that is the allowance on your end of manipulation. You're allowing yourself to be manipulated. Because somebody who really rocks with you, nothing that they do for you, nothing that they have done for you from a physical, material standpoint, from a mental, psychological, emotional support standpoint, nothing that they do for you will ever be held against you or held over your head because they did it. They did it because they rock with you. But you have people in life, and y'all know this, all of y'all have been through this, guarantee it. You have people who only do things for you because they are trying to establish a credit line. They're trying to establish a future situation with you. It's not out of the kindness of their heart. It's like a loan shark. Yeah, I'll loan you this money, but when you pay me back, it's coming back. The interest gonna be so extreme that you're really not gonna be able to pay me back. So now I practically own you. Or at the very least, you have people who just they get a kick out of seeing you down. They like to see you down. They'll help you out, because when they help you out, now they're gonna go tell everybody how bad you was doing and how they, man, I had to get that food $300 the other day, man. Yeah, they finna kick him out, man. Yeah, it's like Why are you telling other people that? And they wait for moments to throw it back at you. Yeah, when you was about to get evicted. Yeah, when your baby ain't had no diapers, and I came over there. But they wasn't acting like that when they first did it for you. And you giving them no reason to come at you like that. See, now it's different if you help somebody, because sometimes you help somebody and they're ungrateful when you help them. Not meaning they should be kissing your butt after you help them, but they exhibit entitlement behavior. They exhibit spoiled, immature, you owe me, the world owes me, using usury behavior, right? Then they verbally express like, oh man, you helped me last time. They start getting full of themselves. That's when sometimes you may have to let somebody know. And even then, you don't really have to let them know or anybody else know. You just have to move around. Just separate yourself. Okay, I see how you are. Because man, hey man, I've talked about this in several songs throughout the past, man. Sometimes finding out the way a person is a good thing. It's a blessing. We get more upset when we discover that a person is dirty because of how we feel about them. Oh man, I was really in love with that girl, man. I didn't know she was just using me for my money. So you still are caught up in that feeling that you have for that person instead of going, oh, this person was never for me in the first place. And it's not to say you magically instantly lose whatever you felt for them. It's not to say that, but in my opinion, it should make it a lot easier because I've been blessed. I want to say blessed. I'm gonna go on a limb and use the word blessed. I've been blessed to have the ability to feel about people the way I find out they feel about me. Even people I really rocked with. And I find out like, wow, that's how they really felt? That's how they really feel about your boy? I'm done. So even then, you don't have to go back and tell everybody how big of a snake that person was. And, you know, your victory comes in just being able to detect it before it was too late, before they got you too good, and then just move on. And then extract the lesson from it, meaning that, okay, just like I said a few minutes ago, to be sure to properly and thoroughly get to know people that you want to bring into your circle, to bring into your life. You are the circle. People say, well, man, my circle, my circle. Typically, people think that you're talking about your circle of friends and people you kick it with, your tight-knit, close-knit group. And that's your circle. But you are actually the circle. Because at the end of the day, you got to live with every decision that you make. You have to do it. So you have to be careful of who you bring into your world. This is your world. Who do I allow to get to know me? Who do I allow in my home? Who do I allow to know my dreams and aspirations and my fears and my dark, deep secrets and my business plans and my spirituality? And who do I allow? Who do I trust? Who do I entrust that to? Truth of the matter is, it's not very many. It's very few. Because those are the true jewels of life. So if you had some actual physical jewels in your possession that you own, you got some diamonds, you got some gold, and you got all this put up in your house, you're not going to just randomly go from person to person letting them keep it over there. Hey man, hold on to my diamonds, man, for a couple of days. I'm going out of town. Hey man, I want you to watch my money. I got a big pile of money, man. I want you to hold on to it. You're not gonna do that with everybody. It's family members you wouldn't do that with. It's people you grew up with and been knowing for years that you wouldn't do that with. Not only are there people that you've been knowing for years that you wouldn't trust with those types of physical material valuables, not only would you not trust them to hold it for you, you wouldn't even tell them you got it. How many times have you had something and you knew in your heart it's certain people you can't tell that you got it? You better not tell that. You better not let him know you got $20. Why can't I let him know that you got? Because you know how he is. He gonna automatically try to figure out a way to get 15 of them from you. If you got 20, he need 15. He need 18. Wasn't thinking about you till he found out you had it. He got a new car. All of a sudden, I need to use your car. All of a sudden, I need you to take me this place and that place, pick me up from work, drop me off at work. All of a sudden, all these things that this person was able to do on their own somehow, once you came into yours, now they need yours. They can't survive without yours. How many of y'all know somebody like that? That's because people, those types of people, I won't say because everybody's not like that. I still believe in the goodness of people. There are people who just, they have such a sickness in their heart that they just want to capitalize and drain you of your resources. And once they drain you of your resources, on to the next. I'm gone. It's like the youngster in the neighborhood. He never had no toys. Family might not have been able to afford it or whatever, but he never had any toys. So when you bring your new toys outside, he always trying to tear your stuff up. This goes back to childhood. Halston, I hope I pronounced it right this time, man. Appreciate the love and the donation, man. I don't know about psychologists, man. I do deserve some kind of consultation fees, some just consultation or just some fees for my therapy sessions, man. But it's all good. People just tear your stuff up. As soon as they tear it up, they good. They on to the next. Like, hey man, ain't nothing. My work is done here. But there are so many situations where we have to be careful with people who want to take control over you. People would take control over your life. People will, like, you ever heard that word succubus? People will just take and take and take and take from you until you just become a shell. You're just a carcass. But you also have people who literally will try to become you. Oh man, come on, Kay. You must have been watching Lifetime movies or something. Yeah, sometimes I watch Lifetime movies. But I'm speaking some true facts, man. There are people that will try to become you. That's identity theft on a whole other level. Dressing like you, acting like you, moving like you, talking like you, but not in the good way. Because that is a benefit to studying somebody who's great and emulating their process and emulating their moves to try to achieve success. But the goal is to achieve your own success, not to try to be me. Can't be me. I can't be you. I was having a conversation earlier. When you have certain people who try to gain control like that, there are people who specifically live their life and they try to they want what you got, not necessarily because it was a dream or a goal of theirs. It might have been, but they want it just because you the one that got it. It's like, man, uh, your wife, he wants your wife. He got a wife of his own, but he may see the relationship between you and your wife. She may see the relationship between you and your husband. Or it might be envy, where she sees the relationship between you and your husband, or he sees the relationship between you and your wife. And he decides, or she decides, I want to see if I can make him cheat on her, make her cheat on him. I want to see if I can tempt them. They don't even really want them. They just want to try to see, oh yeah, they try to act like they so perfect. No, nobody said that we was perfect. We just living our life. Yeah, look at them. They think they better than everybody else. She act like a church going. Oh, he the preacher. Oh, he this, he's an upstanding citizen. When he see me in this outfit, we gonna see. It's people who live like that. Miserable. People who live like that. They just want it because you got it. They see, it's a difference between wanting something like I have. Oh man, that's a nice. Those some nice shoes, man. Where'd you get those from? I want to go buy me a pair of those. That's cool. Oh yeah, man. I got these from Foot Locker, bro. Compared to somebody who say, "Hey man, give me. I want them." Oh, they got them in Foot Locker. No. I want the ones off your feet. I want the car you drive. I want your car. I want your house. I want your wife. I want your life. Dangerous. Why you want my life? It's almost 8 billion people on the planet. I'm pretty confident that it's somebody out there for you. So how have you condensed your whole existence down to just me and you? You want what I got. Draw say, run it. Run me them shoes, playboy. That's control. All these things are control. All these things are rooted in envy and hate of self and kind. Appreciate that, Anna Monarchy. It was great to meet you too, man. You had a great spirit, bro. Just a natural, real cool, naturally cool guy, man. Really cool guy. Shout out to my homie Anna Monarchy. I'm gonna go backwards a little bit to read some of y'all comments as I was talking. Wow, that's a subject for another day. I ain't gonna even read that one. Michelle says selfish behavior. Miss Lady Sample earlier said weirdo behavior. And again, when people lose that control, that's why it's never good to give that kind of control. See, control ain't always a bad word. And I think that's why the word control freak came out, because it's levels, as they say, as the young people say. Because there is a level of control that needs to be exercised over certain people to get them into a boss mode mentality. You can't start working on a job and you don't really know a lot about the occupation and just come right in and start just bossing up. You have to be trained to qualify yourself and to gain understanding of the job that you're doing, the job description, right? But in the beginning, somebody is training you and somebody has a level of control over you to keep you in bounds as it relates to knowing what's dangerous to do on this job. You working at a freaking chemical plant. You're in there smoking a cigarette. So you have to learn guidelines. You have to learn rules and regulations, safety policies, moral policies that you have to fall under a degree of control to get you an understanding of what you are doing and what you're dealing with and what is best for the situation moving forward. That's a good kind of control. You raising children in your house. Same thing, rules, regulations, guidelines, unwritten moral clauses in your house. That's a good kind of control. You're a man. It's the part a lot of people don't, a lot of women don't like. But you're a man, and your job as a man is to protect your household, protect your woman, your children. And so you say, baby girl, no, I don't want you out at 12, 1 o'clock at night. Well, I'm working now. It doesn't matter. You don't need to take a job that's dangerous. You know, you're exercising the control over her, but for her own good, for her own safety. A lot of people don't like that because of this newfangled way of thinking where the word control is actually used in that scenario. I'm not going to let any man control me. I'm not going to let you control me. So the word gets used out of context. It's not used in its proper context when it's like, it's like, no, it's not that I'm trying to control you in the way you thinking. I'm trying to protect you. So there's a level of control I have to exercise in order to protect you, because we in this independent world, this independent woman world where, hey, I do what the hell I want. Can't no man, I don't even need no man. That's the thought process. And even on the flip side, because a man can be making irrational decisions and getting ready to do something, go out there and kill that fool, man. Nobody talk to me like that on the job. The woman got to come in sometimes and take control of her man's emotions, her man's mind, and say, baby, no, listen, you got a family. We need you. You can't be going to prison, and you got children. And she had to take control to bring him back to his right mind. So we use the word wrong sometimes, or society has made us look at it as a bad word. At the times, it's used as a good word. But for the times that it is used as a bad thing, that's mainly what we own tonight. So hold on, let me show some love real quick. Show some love real quick. Drought, I appreciate the love. Drought, did you come to the comic Palooza? I thought you said you was coming today. I was looking for you. Lemmy, I thought you was asleep at 12:20 in the morning. Thought you was asleep, Lemmy Lim. But the fear of not having somebody, because some people, see, it's a difference between being a boss and being a dictator. See? It's a difference between being a leader and being a dictator. I can lead. A man can lead his woman. He should be able to lead his woman, but he should not be a dictator over his woman. Just sit down. Shut up. Why is this food cold? Go in there and make it again. Nah, man, come on, bro. It's a difference. Because we will follow, as women and men, we have a natural inclination to follow the right kind of leadership because we can recognize it sometimes. Sometimes people don't even have the ability to recognize good leadership, and that's how they fall by the wayside. And that's how they fall into, like I said earlier, cults and manipulators and tricksters and scam artists and all that. People who beating you out your money and all that because they have taken advantage of your ignorance. Let me get back in these comments, y'all. I'm sorry, I started talking. Rasan Talley says, my parents sabotaged everything I've ever did when I was living with them. I know a lady, her dad did her that way until she turned 56 years old. And she was free when her dad died. Now, see, I touched on that earlier because I talked about how parents can be control freaks too. And what you're saying, man, that's an interesting point, because sometimes a parent can make a child, even as a grown child, make them feel like you owe me and you are obligated to me to do everything that I want you to do, even if it means you not having a life of your own, simply for whatever reason. Because, hey, I brought you here, I fed you, I raised you. Well, no disrespect, but that's what you're supposed to do. But what you're also supposed to do is prepare me for independence, prepare me to be a free thinking, free man or woman and a leader. You have to prepare me for that. Not to, as I said earlier, hold it over my head. I fed you out. Yeah, you did. I appreciate that. But why are you trying to use that as a strong arm piece now? As a power move, as a control move. Why are you trying to use? That's not what you're supposed to do. As my mama, as my daddy, you're not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that as a mother, as a father to my own child. I'm not supposed to do that. Supposed to set me up to make it on my own. You ever seen how a bird prepares another bird to be free? You ever seen the bird that takes the baby bird, the mother bird, and flies off with him and then drops him? And if he don't flap, and fly, he die. You fly or die. Now that's some tough love right there. But what happened in the case, and I'm guessing because I don't know the person you're talking about, Rasan, is that, you know, never wish nobody to lose their life. You know, her dad died for whatever reason. You know, she was 56, and that means her dad may have been in his 70s. So he probably died of, you know, just getting older, what they call natural causes. But to say she didn't become free until he died, unfortunately, that lets you know that she would have been under his control and from a miserable standpoint under his control still to this day, because she never figured out apparently how to get herself off of how to break that grip that her dad had on her for whatever it was. And you say your parents sabotaged everything you ever did. See, the truth of the matter is, man, and I don't know your life, you know, but I'm speaking in general. It's a lot of parents that's jealous of their own children, man. They're resentful of their own children because there are things that they might have had in their heart that they wanted to do that they didn't get done. And instead of saying, well, wow, my son and my daughter, they doing it. Let me get behind that. They go into competition with their own children. It's like, man. But also levels of control that come from a parent come from when, I'm going to say good control and bad control, because y'all know I love Joe Jackson. Anybody that know me, y'all know I love Joe Jackson. Michael Jackson's daddy, who everybody try to make into this evil, abusive guy. I don't believe that. I believe he took his vision and said, man, look, I got 9 children and I'm working on this job that I hate and we're not going to ever get nowhere. Hey, man, I'm finna create a circumstance for these children to break a, I wouldn't call it a generational curse, but to change the direction of our family, to put us on a different type of path. And he did that. And if they wouldn't have got a hold of Michael, man, if this industry and these devils wouldn't have got a hold of Michael the way they did, all of his children would still be alive because the other 8 are still alive, never have been on drugs, never have been in any legal trouble, never have. See, that speaks to the parent. So y'all can say all of what you want to say about Joe. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Venus and Serena's dad. Who else? Anybody who worked those children into success. That's good control. All right. DT say they bleed you dry. Alexander says, I was pronouncing your name wrong last night. I feel like a dummy now, man. How I see it like this tonight, but I didn't see it like that last night. I was going A7X Ander. What a dummy. Alexander says, I always wondered why people would want to take control of you. Well, some people want to, it's self-explanatory. It's easy because if I control you, then I control what you have, and what you have becomes mine. See? I'm pimping, so I control your body. So I can do whatever I want to do with your body. I can use it for myself. I can use your body to make me money. I can tell you to go out and go to the store and steal something. I need you to go to the department store and start and boost some stuff for me, man. I can get what I can get resources out of you that I don't have to work for. See? I ain't got to work for it. He gonna do it. She gonna do it. That's control. That's why they want it. Because they want to make a, and if I'm controlling you and leading you into negative activity, right? Depending on how I do it, if you get jammed up, my hands are free. If I send you out to go steal for me, hey, go steal some clothes out of the mall and bring them to me, and we're gonna sell them. Or you go sell them and bring me the money. If they catch you, I ain't gonna get no trouble. Well, he told me to go steal. Who is he? They can't pin that on nobody. You come back down a little bit, y'all. I'm all over the place. Talking about control freaks, man. You got to be strong, man. You don't let people. You got to recognize people. You gotta have an eye for, in a sight, in a ear for who's really for you and who's not. You gotta be able to recognize that, and it takes time. Quit skinning and grinning with everybody, and the first person that come along and talk good or smile at you, you just connect to them. Everything sounds good in the beginning. How many of y'all relationships have been like that? I don't care if you still with a person, but y'all, the relationship might not be all that hot. Or if you was with a person, the relationship went bad at some point. Every relationship starts off good. Y'all can tell all these moments about, yeah, you know, when he first met me, he surprised me. He sent flowers to my job, and then he took me out to the beach, and we got to the beach. It was a man playing the violin, and I just never forget how romantic. Everybody do all, when you in trying to impress mode, you do all kind of stuff. KO, what's up, man? One day of my life, that person will be calling, say he want his life back. He might be saying he want his wife back. He say he want his life back. He probably want his wife back. But when they turned him around, they found he had a knife back. Can I get my knife back? That was a shife act. Why'd you do me like that? Ooh, DT said, it's sad though. It's someone that hates themselves and scared AF to get to know what they're good at. Scared to get to know what you're good at, or not even believing that you're good at anything. Hey man, y'all hit that like button if y'all just coming in, man. Click a like, kick that little thumbs up. Can we get to 100 likes tonight, y'all? Can we do it? I know it's late, and I ain't gonna hold y'all long again tonight. Targeted individual says, what are we supposed to do if we can't gain control back? What if the manipulators have too much power? You are the one who decides to give them the power or not. See, you have to know that the power was yours all along. So nobody can have too much power over you, or they can, but they can't keep it unless you allow them to keep it. See? So there's no such thing as not being able to gain the control back. You can gain the control back. You just got to do it. You just got to wake up one day and decide, nah, I ain't doing this. Everybody has a moment where they get fed up. But what happens is, depending on the type of control, because it's different types of control. Because what if you're in a bad situation? I'm gonna make up an example. What if you are living with somebody and they You know, you down right now. You struggling. You ain't got no job. You sleeping on somebody's couch. And you living in their house. They paying all the bills. See, sometimes people control you based on your bad situation. So, man, he's struggling. So they start talking to you any kind of way, treating you any kind of way, losing respect, disrespecting you, all these different things. And you keep your mouth shut and allow them to demean you like that because you like, I ain't gonna say nothing. They're gonna kick me out. I ain't got nowhere to live, so I gotta deal with it. Yeah, but baby girl, don't he be hitting you or something? Yeah, but I got my baby with me, so I don't want to be out in the street with my baby. Man, look, it's certain things that's not worth the treatment. So if you, hey man, I don't care what the situation is, you have to make the decision that whether you are, whether you're a man or a woman, you have to be a man or a woman. I'm a man first. I don't care how broke I am. I don't care how bad my living situation is. I'm a man first and foremost. I can, my finances can be compromised, right? My living conditions can be compromised. My manhood can never be compromised, man. That's the thought process. As a female, your womanhood can never, your self-respect should never be compromised. So if you want to kick me out because you got the upper hand right now, and you want to feel like you can just subject me to any kind of talk and treatment that you want to, but in the first time I defend myself when you have disrespected me, you want to kick me out? Kick me out, man. I got to figure something out because number one, whoever has that kind of control over you, you making them a god besides God. They ain't God, but you making them one to feel like you can't ever get out from under the grip that they have you under. You don't believe that the creator gonna make a way for you. You don't believe it. That's why we can't rise above emotion. So, and that's personal, and like I say, when you go into the higher levels dealing with the elites, there's a control that government has. There's a control that corporate America had, your bosses have over you. People scared to stand up for themselves at work. I can't lose their job. Now, am I saying be stupid? I ain't putting the key in your back to just, as soon as the boss get on you in some kind of way, to just slap him or go off on him. But no, it's a line. It's a limit. What's up, Joe Callio? Hit the like button, man. Let's get to 100 likes and I'll get out y'all way. I'll get out y'all way. For Divine Healing says, dang, Kay, my grandma was just treating me like that. I'm out now and will never talk to her again. But see, and the thing is, bro, it's not even about never talking to your grandmother again, bro. It's not about that. Because I wouldn't ever advise that. Because let your big brother give you some game real quick. However your grandmother was treating you, right? She still did you a favor. She still helped you. Well, how did she help me? She helped you because that treatment, whatever it was, made you get out. You may not have moved on that fast had the situation been different. So now the treatment motivated you to say, oh, I can't live like this. I got to get my own. And that's what it does for a lot of people. A lot of times, the same scenarios I was just breaking down, it will make certain people, shh, man, I need to get me a job. I'm going to get on my feet. So on that level, you really have that person to thank if you understand it from that angle. See? So it's not to say I'm not going to ever talk to my grandmother again. It's possible. You never know what your grandmother may have been through, what kind of pain she may be still dealing with from trauma that may have happened to her. Because sometimes those things are cycle related. Why people act like that. That's the part I haven't got to yet. Why a lot of people have those kind of issues with control, because it could be cycle related. Because somebody did them like that. It's a pain, like they say, hurt people hurt people. But at the end of the day, sometimes moving away from somebody actually brings you closer to them. So you can get away from grandma now because y'all was around each other every day, and she was, whatever she was doing to you and whatever she felt you was doing to her, well, your presence alone might have just made her like, oh. But now, give it some time. You ain't got to call every day and be up under. Give it some time. And then nothing will be wrong with just calling grandma. Hey, grandma, I'm just checking on you. Doing all right? Because sometimes people just be resentful, like, man, get this Negro out of my house. Because, like I tell people all the time, at the very least, she is one of the vessels that are responsible for bringing you here. So don't carry hate for your grandmother because she brought you here, because she brought your mother here or your father, whatever side of the family that is. And then they brought you here. What's up, Lindsay? I'm still in y'all's comments, man. Say, reminds me when I took on Sam's Club for false firing. Man, you went to war with Sam, with old Sam Walton? Joseph Milak says, the truth is the truth. If you're in the wrong, they can't do a thing about it. You have to gain control over yourself, man. You have to gain an understanding of your own power. And you have to have self-respect. Self-respect means I'm not going to allow anybody to subject me to treatment that's beneath that line of respect. Instinct says my mom kicked me out a few times in New York and South Africa. Well, your mama kicked you out across the world, huh? Your mama kicked you out on 2 continents. Been homeless a few times. It was way worse in South Africa being on the street. Tried some drugs I shouldn't have, but I learned a lot. Well, I mean, if you bounce back, man, chalk it up to a learning experience, man. But we make the mistake a lot of times by chasing behind the people who we don't mesh with, who we don't have the chemistry with. It doesn't matter if it's mom or dad or whoever. Relationship, we just chase. Certain people follow each other everywhere they go. And it's toxic as all outdoors. That's country, y'all. All outdoors. Still reading what y'all talking about. What's up, Janie? Janie Gomez. Joseph says sometimes you need to be pushed. See, the push don't always come in a positive, motivating way. Come on, son, you can do it. I believe in you. That's a push. But sometimes the push is, man, you trash. You can't do nothing. You ain't gonna never be nothing in life. You garbage. Just like your daddy. Some people will fold up under that and like, okay. Other people will be like, all right, I'm gonna show you. That's the mindset you should gravitate towards. Hmm. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. White Horn, what's going on? I'm still scrolling, y'all. I want to get to 100 likes before we shut it down, man. People now are lying at an alarming rates just to get what they need. Yeah, that ain't nothing new though. How do you respectably, I guess that means respectfully dismiss a person from your life who keeps poisoning your mode? You just leave. See, that's another problem that we have. See, we be under so much control by negative people, by the wrong type of people, that the control is so strong that we feel like we don't want to offend them. We don't want to disrupt the evil that they do. I don't want to offend him to let him know that I don't like the evil that he's doing to me. So if you still want to take that approach to say, man, I'm gonna still be respectable. Yeah, because you should still be dignified in how you handle situations, if I can say that. But you saying, how do you respectfully dismiss a person who they're not respecting you? I ain't saying go blow their car up. I ain't saying go put some hands on. I ain't saying none of that. I'm saying just respectfully move yourself out of their life. Remove them. You remove them from your life by removing yourself out of theirs. You don't owe a person who mistreats you explanations and things of that nature. You don't owe them anything. You owe yourself to get out of that toxic situation. You just said they keep poisoning your mode. Why would you allow that to keep happening? Time to go. Time to go. You don't have to debate and argue with them, fight. You don't have to do none of that. And especially if you are already set up, meaning that if you got your own already, you shouldn't let it happen. Just like I said, you shouldn't let it happen if you struggling, if you were sleeping on a couch. Say, but they know my other homies. What do they have to do with anything? A lot of people know the same people. There are a lot of people who don't really rock with each other, but they know the same people. They may be cool. You may have friends that are his friends or her friends, whoever it is. But your goal should be to bring peace into your own life. I'm not connected to you because you know some of my people. Have y'all ever seen people who are in relationships, man and a woman in a relationship, and they may have been in a relationship for years to where their families know each other, and then they split up. And the fact that they've been cool with your family, she may still come to your house on a holiday or something. She may still talk to your mom sometime or your dad sometimes. She may still hang out with your female cousin because they was cool the whole time y'all was in a relationship. That's cool. That doesn't mean you have to tether yourself to that person for the rest of your life. That's the same or similar to when couples say we gonna stay together because we got children together. But y'all miserable together. I never believed in that. Now, if I'm wrong on that level, then somebody with more wisdom, hey, please correct me. But I just don't think it makes sense. Man, well, we got 2 kids, man. We've been, we got these kids, and they little, man. We got. I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, man. I'm just trying to hang in there till my children get out of school. So you're trying to hang in there 10, 12 more years in misery. Nah, y'all just got to figure it out. Because I don't encourage, like, hey, man, get a divorce. I don't push that. What I'm saying is that y'all don't have to be in a relationship to successfully co-parent. And then somebody said, well, the statistics say that children who grow up in a one-parent household, they're more likely to, okay, that's cool. But what I also know is there are a whole lot of children who grew up in 2-parent households who are messed up because they have grown up all those years living in a toxic environment that is fueled year in and year out by the 2 parents that live under the roof with them. So it's not necessarily about the union of 2 parents. We just gotta stay together for the children. It still boils down to how each parent deals with the children and how they can put their differences aside for the sake of the children in terms of co-parenting from wherever they are. You living here, I'm living there, whatever. Hey, look, when we come together, we're not going to argue and bring this around. We're not going to ever let our child see us snapping and going at each other. If 2 people can be mature enough to do that, which I ain't saying that's easy to do, but if 2 people lock into that discipline, it's cool. Well, mama, why daddy don't live here no more? Shh. We got to have a conversation. But the conversation can never be, even if it's, daddy, why mama left? Got to have a conversation. But the conversation can't ever be, oh, your mama left because she wanted to run off with that other dude. Nah, man, you don't tell your children that. You feeling that. That's the pain you feeling. But you got to still look at the fact that this is your child's mother. It just is what it is. You can't expose them to that, and you can't paint a negative picture of that child's other parent. That's just me. That's just me. Y'all might disagree, but that's how I view it. You don't stay in a bad situation for any reason. Just don't. Now, are we perfect? Heck no, because guess what? Your big brother ain't perfect either. So, you got to figure it out. Sometimes you got to work through it and bump your head a few times. Sometimes it may take a while to transition out. Some people have the ability to do it like that. First time they see the first red flag, they can get out. I salute you. Hey, you peeped it early. Some people it take them a little longer. But it's about the result at the end of the day. Well, hey, took a while, but she finally got away from that dude. The dude they used to beat on her, she don't mess with him no more. She ain't going back to him either. See? Y'all click that like button, man. We're trying to get to 100 likes, man, so I can let y'all go. Joseph says, you think like that, you are enslaved to them. They got a leash on you. They got a leash on you. They ain't got a crush, they got a leash. Lady Dragon says, my husband and I may be on a low point, but us together are together in this and we will get through it. And I mean, look, that's a different subject because I'm speaking about two people who they just don't want to be together no more, but they forcing it for whatever reason. Now, if you with somebody and y'all having y'all problems, but y'all are both trying to save it, I want to save my marriage. I want to save my marriage too. Y'all just fighting through some stuff, then y'all fight. Get through it. Janie says solitude can be good for your mood. I know that I live by that. B Ant says the older you get, the more you stand up for yourself. The lonelier it gets, it teaches you to make your own world. I mean, you got to go through those phases. Loneliness is a part of life that everybody, you dip, you're gonna drive through lonely town at some point in your life. The difference is the thing is that you can't move into lonely. You can't buy a house in lonely town. You might live out there for a little while, but you got to get out. Rashawn gave Joe some game. He said, distance yourself from them and start anew somewhere else. Great advice. Yep. Okay, Rashawn. Rashawn says to Ruben, work on things you are good at and do it in solitude to develop a sense of self so you become more focused individual. See, boy, you said something. See, part of allowing people to have control over you is subjecting yourself or succumbing to the thought that you can't function. See, a person who tries to control, they'll make you feel like you can't even function without them. I have to be around them or I have to be around somebody. No, you don't. Now, people are different. You have people that are more content in their solitude. I'm one of them. You be around people, but the way I'm built, the way I'm set up here, at some point, my mind is gonna be like, all right, I've been around people long enough. Time for me to go back to be just with me. Because that's just how I came up. I was raised, I was the only child in the household. So I'm used to that solitude, that being in my own world, creating my own worlds. That's why my imagination is like it is. But other people, see, environment has a lot to do with it. Other people you grew up in a big family. The house was always full of people coming in and out all the time. It was always cousins. And so those type of people, not all the time, but sometimes they have more the feeling of, I'm just used to being around people. So if they are with somebody, they are more subject to like always want to be around that person. Then y'all opposites, you get around a person that always that likes to have a space. They like, hey, man, you look too clingy. Those are just environmental based on how you came up. But if somebody is planting in your head that control and they make you feel like you can't, what you gonna do without me? You can't survive without me. I made you. Nah, nope. Nobody made you. God made you. But take that power away, man. What's up, Dustin? So Rasan says, do you, asking me, Do you have the problems in relationships, man, woman? If so, why? What? Who don't, man? Men and women have yet to figure each other out. Of course, I wouldn't be able to tell y'all some of the stuff I tell. I wouldn't be able to give y'all some of the advice and some of the game I give y'all if I haven't been through my own stuff. I would never try to be, look, I like the people that try to write relationship books and all that. Like, I'm too flawed to think I got the answers. Yeah, of course, man. If you are a man or a woman, and you have been involved with a man or a woman, depending on what you are gonna have problems. Unless you just, I won't say luck up, unless you just land on that perfect, unless you hit a home run on the first swing and y'all just had that perfect compatible relationship. Yeah. And why, to answer that part of the question? Well, because sometimes we enter into relationships for the wrong reasons. But what happened? Well, the relationship was based more on physical attraction, which is very important. But you can lose physical attraction quick when you see that a person's mental ain't right. See? So you get into relationships for the wrong reason. Ooh, she fine. Ooh, he look good. Then you move on that, because as I said earlier, in the beginning, everybody presents the best version of themselves when you start in that new relationship. You pulling the chair out, opening the door, and some people, that's really who they are. But you saying all the right things, or you think you're saying the right thing. See, telling people what you think they want to hear is not the same as saying the right things. So if you're a female and you meet this guy that you really, really like, you're like, oh, I really like this guy. Oh my gosh, he just, oh. And then y'all start talking and he says, well, I'm getting my career going, so I really don't have time for children right now. I don't really want to have children. But you want to have children. So you thinking, oh, he don't want children? Yeah, me either. I understand that. Nah, you don't understand that. You saying what you think he want to hear, because now you trying to present a false level of compatibility, like we on the same page. You're not on that page. So soon as you get used to him, y'all are involved, and y'all been in it for a while, your true self is going to come out, that you wanted children all along. So you didn't say the right thing. The right thing is the honest thing. But the honest thing doesn't get said because in the beginning, we fear we're going to say something to turn that person off, and they're not going to want to mess with us no more. Man, you got to get them hard conversations out the way early. I learned that's one of the best pieces of advice I can give to people as far as a relationship. And I ain't a relationship guru at all. I'm just as messed up as the rest of y'all. But one thing for certain, whatever it is in the beginning, you got to go on and put it out there. If it's something they saying that they into that you don't like, hey man, say it. Well, how do you feel about, I smoke cigarettes. How do you feel about me smoking cigarettes? Oh, I don't have a problem with you smoking cigarettes. Yes, you do. You hate cigarettes. But you like the way she look in that dress, so you don't want to turn it off because you ain't hit it yet. Once you get past all that, now hey man, put that cigarette out, man. Come on, man. I just be honest, man. I'd have made a lot of mistakes just not being honest. A lot of crap not being honest. But sometimes you could be you you tell the truth and shoot from the hip the right way. It still don't guarantee success, but at least you know you said what you said. Hey man, look, hey, I told you. See? And that's where that circle of control comes around, because people would say things, and then you got to remind them, hey man, I told you from day one where I was, and I always give balance, or try to give balance, because dudes do it too. A woman to tell you, well, I have a career, I do this, I'm not gonna have time to just be with a man every now and then. Oh, that's cool, baby. Yeah, I'll be doing my thing too. Then you calling her every night. Well, why you can't spend no time with me? You must be with somebody else. And the woman told you she was busy. So because now you ain't got nothing going for yourself, you want to hound her every day. T.G. Williams says, misery wants company, so don't entertain it. Keep self-love. And if everyone would do that, it would be a better companionship between the two. Hey, man, give me 5 more likes, man. We almost there. We in the home stretch, man, so I can let y'all make it. We in the home stretch. Drop y'all locations, man. Drop y'all locations so I can shout y'all out. And also, like I say, I'll be seeing a lot of new names, man. So I appreciate all the new people that's coming in. Hey, you know what? Let me do something different. If y'all are new to my channel, who's new to my channel? Just say me. It might not be that many of y'all that I think it is. Who's new to my channel? Drought, you ain't new. If you're new to my channel, just give me a quick little rundown how you discovered my channel, how you found out about me. And Rasan, we coming to Dallas, man. We'll be performing. We got a show in Dallas next month on the 24th, man. Next month on the 24th, your big brother, K-Rino, Point Blank, Klondike Cat, and Dopey of South Park Coalition, we will be performing live in Dallas, Texas. We'll have the details soon, man. I asked y'all too many questions at the same time. I said, drop your location. I said, tell me if you're new to the channel, and tell me how you found out about the channel. I put too much. Appreciate that backpack. Well, regardless of the situation, man, I want y'all to subscribe to my podcast channel. That's also right here on YouTube. Go do that right now and go check out the content. Whitehorn is out there in Missouri, Northeast Missouri. Joe in California. Ford Divine out there in Kansas City. Joseph in South Granville, Australia. Jag out there in Victoria, Canada. All right. Beant, married 19 years, no kids, some tough times, but we are both crazy enough, also crazy enough for each other. Hey, man, that's all that matters. If y'all good with each other, and y'all know y'all ain't, and each one of y'all know y'all ain't going nowhere, then some of these words that I've said don't apply to y'all. This applies to people who just drowning in misery for no reason. We just gonna be together forever, no matter how much we hate each other. Jonathan Lopez and ATX. Drought, Southeast Houston. Drought, did you come to the thing, man? I thought you was coming. I'm a doozy. Dollar, Indianapolis, Indiana in the building. Man, did y'all see that game tonight? God, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Appreciate that white horn. Verily, verily. Ha, that's clever. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, verily, Colorado up in this thing. We'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the Comic Palooza. Y'all come through. We will be there at the George R. Brown Convention Center. That's the time frame. Tomorrow's the last day, man. So y'all come through and rock with us. For those who don't know what we're talking about, I dropped a comic book. That's what this pen, y'all see that post on my wall? That's the comic book we just released. All love. All right, man, we done crossed the 100 like barrier. I appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in on this late night. I know I've been hitting y'all up kind of late. Yeah, I came to Australia. I've been to Australia before. I performed in Sydney, Australia. I performed in Adelaide, Australia. I've been out there. I've been on Bondi Beach. Yeah. What's up, JB? What's up, L. Jackson? Jordan Smith. I'm not a brand new subscriber, but I have been tuning in for people. Yeah, man. But y'all be sure, man, tune in to the podcast. The latest episode, we're talking about the pros and cons of AI. Y'all go check that episode out for y'all late night people who like to stay up late. Y'all go look at that as soon as I let y'all go, which will be right about now. It's just something I can think I'm forgetting. Appreciate the love, man. All right. Peace.